I realized a little bit too late that the music in the last NaNoWriMo vlog was way too quiet. So the music in this vlog is going to be really loud! No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that again. Please don't unsubscribe. Don't click. It is November 12th, and the NaNoWriMo vlog went up on the 8th, and then I just didn't film for the 9th and the 10th because I wasn't feeling up to it. Like, I was not having the best of days. Like, it's really bad timing to have to do a writing project in which a lot of the times writer's block and procrastination and self-doubt comes in, and then I already have other issues aside from that to add to the self-doubt and the procrastination. I don't want to force myself to talk when I don't feel like it. So yeah, everything's chill now. This is the day of the launching of the poetry book, The Night Summer Ended, and when this goes up, it's probably going to be like long after that happens, but I would try not to like push it in every single video I do. I know that's annoying. The thing is, this project in itself isn't even that big of a deal. Like, it means a lot to me, but the point of it is to be the beginning of other bigger projects. Check it out if you want to. Somebody reviewed it already, and that made me really happy, and then there are another few projects that go with it that I'm not going to tell you about yet, but I think it's really exciting. And yeah, that's... Oh, right, about writing, because this happens to be a NaNoWriMo vlog. I wrote... Bye. On the 15th is a local write-in at my library here in the little tiny town I live in. And it's awesome. I've never been to a local write-in before. I've been to virtual write-ins, but I never imagined I'd be able to go to a local one because of how small my town is and all that. But apparently they're doing it now, so I'm definitely going. It's in the afternoon, and I'm probably not bringing my camera, but that's a thing. And coincidentally, there's a writer's workshop on the very next day, on the 16th. On Saturday, there's a local writer here in the town who writes a memoir series, and she's holding a workshop where she gives tips and stuff and talks about how she did it, because she's self-published and her books are beautiful and they sell well, at least here in Canada. So yeah, I'd really like to learn more about that. Aside from that, buddies. I'm not begging for more buddies like I did in the last one, but you can still be my buddy. It's Opal Author 13. However, that's not the point. The point is, what do you do? What do you do when you're buddies? Do you stare at each other's status? Do you just stalk each other online? I don't know. I mean, I'm silently cheering for all of you who are my buddies on the site. And I hope you're all doing well. I'm just too scared. I'm too scared to message you. I feel like that's intrusive, like I'm not supposed to do that. At this point, it's kind of too late anyways. But I'm wondering how you're doing, I guess. So do you message buddies? Or do you just let each other be? Because I've done NaNoWriMo 3 years in a row, but I've never bothered with buddies that much. November 15th, I go, it's one person, oh my goodness, I go to the library, to the write-in, the teen NaNoWriMo write-in, and no way am I taking out my camera, so enjoy these images of a library. It was just me and a couple others who were there to write, and so the lady who runs the library most of the time, she came up to me and she's like, so are you here for NaNoWriMo? She doesn't sound like that. She's really nice. I like her, I promise. But anyways, so she said that, and then I was like, yeah. And she gave me sheets stuff, and she told me what NaNoWriMo is. And then I wrote. So I wrote a little over 500 words. I wrote poetry. I wrote a scene in the book that I had been struggling with, so it was really helpful. And I also got library books, which you will see here. And one of them is ugly, but I'll explain that in a minute. Hello, here I am, back from the library. I got books, of course, because how could I leave the library without getting books? On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, an author I really like after I read The Hate You Give, and I won't lie, the movie made me tear up a few times. Anyways, it was a great book, and I hope this one is good too. It's about rapping, a 16-year-old who wants to be a rapper, and it has the lyrics in here and everything, and I think that's cool. This one is a self-published work by people here in the town, Wells Gray Writers Circle, which is the group name, and 2015 collected works. And this book is very ugly. On the outside, you can tell at a glance that they self-published it, and I know I sound snobbish saying that, but I'm just trying to be honest. But the inside stuff is awesome. There's poetry, there's short stories, and I really admire these people, and I was hoping I could infiltrate their group at some point if I can figure out when they meet and if they have an age requirement. But yeah, I'm reading this for my enjoyment. Next one is No More Regrets, a non-fiction book. This is like a self-help book I thought would be nice. And All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, something like that. It's a YA contemporary. Remember the big ideas paper thing that I said wasn't filled in yet? Well, I filled it in. I've gotten stuck at a few scenes just because I'm bad at transitions, or I start like thinking, oh, my writing sucks and I don't want to do this anymore. Was back from the writer's workshop, and I learned a lot. So just give me this, and these notes and stuff, which you probably aren't able to read, but it's like the themes behind all of her memoir books. And I know it would have been a lot more helpful if she had been a fiction writer, but I still learned a lot. So she talked about how she got her themes. She talked about WIIFM, which is what's in it for me. You should be asking that from the reader's perspective all the time. Like, are you trying to entertain? Are you trying to teach? Are you trying to reveal something to your audience? Always keep someone in mind when you're writing. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm reading out these tips because they help me, and I hope they help you if you're doing NaNoWriMo. So continuing, aim for 1 chapter per week, because that's what she did. Tips like just have a structure, have a rhythm. Always make sure every scene has something to do with the story. If you're writing something that requires facts, including historical fiction, which is pretty close to what I'm writing, then you should get that all on one piece of paper to refer to, so you don't mix up details or have trouble with editing later on. And beta readers are great. I agree with that. Have weekly goals. That's the thing about writing a chapter per week. And don't go back to self-edit too much. So I'm paraphrasing here, everything that's in these notes. Don't keep going backwards, keep going forward. If you need to, this is what she did, was she printed out and mailed her work elsewhere to her mother's house, so that she wouldn't look at it, she would continue writing. Obviously, this person is from a different generation from me and not as connected to the internet, but I think these can apply to everyone, and I found her workshop very helpful, and afterwards I helped her out with like unloading the stuff because she had her whole writing kit stuff there, and we talked about the Wells Gray writing group, which I mentioned earlier I'd like to infiltrate, and we also talked about the Friesen Press, the self-publishing company she used. It's rather than the kind of self-publishing I did where I do everything myself, this is the kind where you pay them and you get it a little bit more professionally done. And aside from that, here look, I have a tripod now. Isn't that cool? So I don't have to hold the camera by hand too much anymore if I don't want to. And this is the kind of GoPro. This is a GoPro tripod. Sorry, I'm moving this around a lot. This is a GoPro tripod that can wrap around pretty much anything. So I'm gonna use this as an excuse to go write, and I'm just gonna wrap this camera around furniture in my house, and you'll see.